Germany slams the brakes on Russia's return. Merz blocks Trump's Group of 8 revival. Macron backs him, and Europe rips out the plan's most pro-Moscow clauses. With Geneva talks straining and Trump raging, the peace push wobbles on the edge. Germany has rejected proposals to readmit Russia to the G8, throwing cold water on a central pillar of Donald Trump's peace framework for Ukraine. German Chancellor Friedrich Merz made his position clear following the G20 summit in Johannesburg on the 23rd of November, stating that 6 of the 7 current members see no path forward for Moscow's return.
At the moment, I do not see any willingness among the 6 current members of the G7, who are not America, to accept Russia back into this group.
According to a Deutsche Welle report, the German leader's remarks came as European powers unveiled a counter-proposal to Trump's 28-point peace plan, which critics have described as heavily favoring Russian interests.
The task now is to use the 28-point plan presented by the United States government as a basis for drafting a document that is acceptable to all parties, which will be presented by Ukraine, accepted, and used in negotiations with Russia. I have made another proposal which falls short of a complete solution, so to speak. I don't want to go into detail here because it is currently being negotiated in Geneva.
Russia was expelled from what was then the G8 in June 2014 after occupying Crimea, transforming the club of advanced economies into its current 7-member format. France backed Germany's stance as its president Emmanuel Macron said a day earlier that preconditions for Russian readmission simply do not exist. The American plan, leaked earlier this month, envisioned Russia's progressive reintegration into the global economy, including an invitation back to the G8. It also proposed gradual sanctions relief and a long-term economic cooperation agreement covering energy, natural resources, artificial intelligence, and Arctic mineral extraction. Europe's counteroffer, drafted by Britain, Germany and France, maintained the possibility of Russian reintegration but stripped away several controversial elements. The European framework removes demands that Ukraine surrender the Donbas region and eliminates a clause giving the United States half the profits from frozen Russian assets invested in Ukrainian reconstruction. However, European negotiators made their own concessions. They agreed to cap Ukraine's peacetime military at 800,000 personnel, up from the 600,000 limit in Trump's original proposal, but still a significant constraint. The counterplan also commits Ukraine to holding elections as soon as possible after any peace agreement, addressing a key Russian demand that could see President Volodymyr Zelensky removed from power. Marco Rubio, the United States Secretary of State, called Sunday's emergency summit in Geneva.
Clearly, I think we all recognize that part of getting a final end to this war will require for Ukraine to feel as if it is safe and it is never going to be invaded or attacked again. So that's clearly something that has to be discussed. I think we've made substantial progress on that and other points, but I'm not going to get into the details today about all of those.
The revised European proposal shifts territorial negotiations to begin from current front lines rather than recognizing Russian control over Crimea, Luhansk and Donetsk as Trump's plan demanded. It also insists that Russian sovereign assets remain frozen until Moscow compensates Ukraine for war damage. Both frameworks require sign-off from Trump and Russia, which has repeatedly shifted its demands throughout negotiations.